my darlings. It is Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called No More Falling into a Black Hole. Whatever your black hole is for you, whether it's despair, wasting time, whatever it is that just keeps calling you back down to the black hole, okay? We're going to look at no more falling into that. And it was funny because I was looking at black holes, like looking at research about black holes. And if you actually like get dropped into one, it will, well, you wouldn't get dropped into it, but it would spaghettify you. I didn't even know spaghettify was a word, but there you go. There you go, there you go now. And we are gonna go ahead and look at the piles here. So we have pile number 1, which is represented by the black obsidian crystal. We have pile number 2, which is represented by the labradorite. And we have pile number 3, which is represented by the fluorite, okay? So take a moment and think about, is it pile 1? Is it pile 2? Is it pile 3? Think about what is really calling to you today and what really makes sense for you, okay? And I am going to go ahead and put the other piles aside here. Alrighty, and we will go ahead and get into pile number 1. Okay. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the black obsidian pyramid, and how fitting, right? Because the reading is called No More Falling into a Black Hole. Whatever that black hole represents for you, whether it's addiction, despair, wasting time, not treating your body properly, not getting enough sleep, not being able to do what you want to do, and always doing what everyone else wants to do. Whatever that black hole is for you, we're going to look at no more falling into it, okay? Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of my beautiful pile number 1s who come here today seeking guidance, please, and thank you. All right, let's find out. No more falling into a black hole for pile number 1. We have letting go, 8 of cups, okay? We have flowering, and we have, and I think this flowering, I think she's maybe the Queen of Pentacles in this deck, although she looks like an Empress to me. And we have consciousness here. Okay, so not falling into a black hole of not being able to let go. Like, you know, letting go can be very freeing, and it can allow us to flower into new things and grow new things in our life and allow us to reach other levels of consciousness if we hadn't had let go. And it reminds me of a friend, well, a former friend of mine who actually, she had this boyfriend who he would, I mean, they went back and forth for years, must have been 3 or 4 years. And, you know, it never changed. It never changed with him. And he would like stand in her business where she worked and would like yell at her, and other people could hear it. And it was just a really toxic relationship. You know what I'm saying? Pile number 1. And, you know, she just really was having a hard time letting go of that. And your guys' reading is kind of reminding me of that. Is there a person in your life who's very toxic? And it doesn't have to be a lover, but somebody who's very, very toxic in your life that you have to let go of, because like, you know, we could spend our whole life on a treadmill with one other human being, just going up and down and being emotionally dysregulated. And not to pick on my former friend, because I fell into a relationship like that too, where it was up and down and very toxic. And, you know, sometimes it's very hard to let those go, let those relationships go, because we get in a trauma bond, okay? And, it's very hard to let go. But in order to let go, so we're not wasting all of our time and all of our energy going into one person or one thing, right? We have to learn to let go and be at peace with it as much as we can be. I know sometimes it really hurts, but I feel like here on the other end of it, pile number 1, you guys are gonna be a lot more peaceful, and your life is going to open up for you in new ways, right? When you're not being pulled down into something negative, all right? We have progressions and journey. Progressions in astrology are about, like, if I'm born with my sun in Taurus, for instance, by now my sun has progressed into Cancer, right? And it takes like the first like 80 days of your life and then progresses them out to each year. Basically, each day is a year. But, you know, regardless of what a progression is technically in astrology, it's about progression in your journey, progression on your life path, okay? Because if we cling to things and to people and to situations, it can really eat us alive. It can eat our life energy up to where we're so depleted that we don't have time to grow into the person that we really, really want to be in this lifetime, okay? We have frustration, experiencing frustration with letting go, and just experiencing a lot of, I feel like sometimes you guys can do it, and sometimes you have like moments. I feel like when you let go, you have little moments here and there where you can let go of something and kind of like see the light at the end of the tunnel, or just gain, I mean, letting go, part of that is acceptance, right? And that's what happened. I can't change it. And a lot of times we want to try to change outcomes, right? And we think that by hanging on to a situation that somehow the outcome of it is going to change, but the outcome actually is the outcome. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when we try to make something be something that it's not, that's when we experience a lot of frustration, okay? We have faith. Yeah, you know what? Letting go is such an act of trust and faith in yourself. And if you don't have like faith that there could be better for yourself or a better day ahead for yourself, then, and I'm looking at the clock here too. It's like, we can't see into the future. All we can do is tarot, we could try to see into the future, right? But for our entire life, we can't see into the future. And letting something go that is deeply frustrating and harming us in ways that hold us back from what we're meant to be doing here, and our creativity and our motivation, right? Sometimes we have to let go because we need to have faith that on the other end, there is going to be something better. We have Kali Ma and facing fear. Yeah. If we let go of something, if we let go of something, is it going to be better? Am I going to find better? It's like we need a lot of faith, right, to face fear. A major spiritual changes are unfolding for you, pile number 1. This is your chance to soar, okay? And if you try to hold on to something, even if it's a job and it's not like a toxic relationship or a person, because we don't want to let go of it because we're in fear, but we're also frustrated with it and we don't want to do it anymore, but we don't know how to get beyond it, right? And we have to become conscious of the fear that is holding us back, right? And fear fear is important. If you're in a really bad situation and you're pushing your fear away, then, like where your life is being threatened and things like that, then of course fear is necessary. But fear comes up, and it's here to teach us to become more conscious about our fears and what they actually are, right? If that thing wasn't in your life anymore, what would you replace it with, right? Probably a whole new consciousness and a deep flowering of who you really are, okay? We have red here, safety, strength, and power, okay? And the ancestors are with you guys, and there's something about like horses like running free that just makes us feel like we can do it too. Like animals, sometimes even just looking at animals or a beautiful sunset can help us like put it into perspective and think about how and why we got to this point, and can help us like internalize it a bit more. You know what I'm saying, pile number 1, so that we're not trying to force something on the outside. We can internalize our journey a little bit, which, a lot of times you might say, I don't want to internalize my journey. That's been really bad for me, right? But if you can see examples of people breaking free, and then you can pull back your energy from trying to force something that doesn't fit, then the internalization can really work wonders. And safety, strength, and power, to me, this is also root chakra, and we could have some fears about our safety, our progression, our financial future, job security, relationship security, right? Friendship security. No one loves me. I'm all alone. You know, that whole thing, keeping us from letting go, even though we are deeply frustrated with this situation. And in order to progress in life, we do need to have a sense of safety, and we need to feel like we have a safety net, and we have the power to do something, and we have the strength to do something. We also have to have faith. It takes a lot, it takes a lot. And the root chakra is also where we hold fear, fear for our survival. Even if you have plenty of money, and it's just that, you don't want to let a person go or a friend go because it's like, I can't imagine my life without you, or I feel like I would be alone, right? All these things involve facing fear and letting go. We have here conquering fear. Oh my God, there it is again, right? And we have start today. Start conquering your fear today. And look at, there's an angel helping her as she is moving through some, pretty rocky terrain. And there's an angel who's holding her hand. It's right next to her. I feel like it's your guardian angel, pile number 1, holding your hand as you cross a threshold here. And, she's like floating in air. She doesn't really have a ground below her, right? So maybe you guys feel like if I let go of this, there's not going to be a safety net under me, or there's not going to be anything underneath me to like catch my fall. You know what I'm saying? And, I feel like Spirit is saying, like, work through your fears. And Kali Ma, if you guys work with Kali, she could be a good goddess for you guys to work with as far as facing your fears and triumphing over them, okay? And I feel like for those of you here that are older, like, 40s or 50s, even 30s, when you were younger, I feel like maybe some of you here were a little bit better at conquering fear. And that doesn't surprise me at all. If you see a child at a playground and they're going to go down this huge, or at a water park and they're going to go down this huge slide, they'll go down it without even questioning anything. You'll see the adults at the top shaking, right? It's almost like children don't have as much to lose, or they have that feeling that they're invincible, right? But life teaches us that we're not invincible and that we do need others, which is very, very true, right? But start conquering your fear today, pile number 1, because it is going to lead you to this beautiful flowering. And we have here the Lady of the Masks and the Shaper, okay? Reclamation, vanity, and surface appearances. Yeah, I think on the surface, you guys are acting like, maybe like you have faith and that you're all good, and you're flowering into this beautiful person, which you are. That's not true, that is true, but I feel like there is something within you that believes it isn't true and is having a hard time letting go or conquering this fear. All right. And I feel like you're maybe trying to show others that, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. Right. And, I know I can do that sometimes too, pile number 1. Like, I'll act like I'm a lot tougher than I actually am. You know what I mean? And I feel like to let go, we also have to get vulnerable. You know what I mean? And getting vulnerable and facing fear is very, very like humbling. You know what I mean? It's very humbling. And we can put on a mask, but oftentimes the way that we really can connect with people, like, even in our business life, even in personal life, is by showing who we really are and not wearing a mask. You know what I mean? Pile number 1. We have, there's the Phoenix baby. There it is, coming right out on Kali Ma. And your consciousness expanding, understanding that you are the Phoenix, you are the flame, pile number 1. And you are going to burn brightly, okay? I know it's hard to let go, and I know it's really frustrating, right? Feeling that fear at that threshold. There's always a lot of fear at the threshold of change, pile number one. There always is. And I know how deep that can run. And I'm kind of like feeling emotional right now and teary-eyed, but I'm also getting a feeling of a strong willpower. So I know you have a strong willpower, pile number one. And I know that you will push through, all right? And you're a very passionate and desirous person. And I think also like a very sexual person as well, pile number one. And if you haven't wanted to let go of something because of fear, I think you really do, because I feel there's also like a sexual awakening happening within you, or needs to come out, right? The phoenix doesn't get its fire from just sitting around and, and not feeling anything, right? And passion and desire is part of it too. And I feel like that is part of what you're meant to do, is overcome fear with passion and desire, and with Kali Ma, with faith, and with your root chakra here. That is how you're going to progress. All right. We have Herbal Kitchen and the Alchemist. Yeah, I mean, things are going to change. Things are going to get different. Life isn't going to remain. Life never remains the same. You know what I'm saying, pile number one? You live enough years on this planet, and life changes all the time. And I think you guys are alchemists, but to have true, full access to your power here, power with red and passion, to have true access to your power, there's something you really got to let go of right now. And I am seeing a face of a man here in the background, so it may be a person or a man. I'm seeing a male there. With maybe a beard or brown eyes, brown hair. But anyway, pile number one, I'm also seeing an onion here too. Onions make you cry, right? Tears are alchemy. Change is alchemy. Letting go is alchemy. Facing fear is alchemy. It's all alchemy at the end of the day. Pile number one. And the thing is you don't get access to that raw power and that burning, that burst of energy when we're wearing a mask and we're pretending on the surface that, oh, everything's cool, da 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 da. When we've only scratched the surface, pile number one, you know what I mean? We have protection here, so you are very protected, pile number one, for whatever move you want to make here. And wherever you want to go and whatever you want to do, you are definitely very protected by the goddess, okay? And I also think that you protect others, pile number one. Are you aware of that? Do you know that you protect others as well? And that you help others conquer their fear, and you help stabilize others and let them know it's going to be okay, and that people feel a sense of safety and just a sense of safety when you're around, like they're with a good mother or a good father. And I'm seeing the butterfly here. We need to know that we're truly protected and safe sometimes to change and to let go, right? The butterfly is a huge symbol of letting go. And I'm getting the energy of May. Somebody here may have a birthday in May, or something coming up in May is important, or Beltane is important this year for you guys. But I think, when you know that you're protected, it's much easier to let go, right? When you have faith that you're protected. We have here the Sacred Orchard. Co-create. My abundance mindset attracts endless blessings. Wow. And we have flowering here. And I think this is the Queen of Pentacles, like I said, co-creation. My abundance mindset attracts me to endless blessings. All right, pile number one. And I'm loving the gold all around her. Some of you may look really great in purple and gold. She has the golden apple. She's got the golden ticket. Also, this is number 33, which is a very magic number, a very angelic type of a number. And I feel like her expression is saying, like, really, do I have to do this? And she does look a little bit concerned here, okay? But I mean, I just heard, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Maybe there's someone in your life that you thought like they had the golden ticket, but they don't. Like you thought they had the answer for you, but they don't. I feel like you have the answers for you, pile number one, okay? You have the answers for you. And life is lighter when we know we're protected as well. We have here a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Yeah, baby. For those of you where this is a person where you've been trying like hell to get over this person and you can't figure out why you can't let this person go, you know? I think a lot of times we get like that because we're afraid of what is on the other side of that. And if there is going to be anything good for us on the other side of that. Because in many times in life, we might have been shown that, you know, no, like even in childhood shown that it's like a child who doesn't want to let go of their parent, like you know, it's that separation anxiety. You know what I mean? Pile number one. And, making us feel like this person or this situation is the end all be all of everything. And if we can't have it, then we can't have anything. And that can create like, you know, a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. Pile number one. Kali Ma is here though for you guys. I mean, the Phoenix and Kali Ma, are you kidding me? Pile number one. Is it even worth it? I mean, to try to hold on to this, because look at all the power you have here if you move on. Look at how powerful you are, right? All right, spirits, angels, and guides, can you show me for pile number one? Can you show me how pile number one can stop falling into a black hole here and get on with it? How can pile number one stop falling? Okay, we have 5 of Cups. Ooh. Grief, you know, grief will sometimes keep us locked in place, right? And grief is, you know, we need to take time to grieve. And, you know, but the time has come and gone, right? The 5 of Cups is a moment to actually grieve. But you guys are at the 8 of Cups, right? So I think you have been in pain. I think you have felt grief over this. I think you have, you know, really gone internal with it. I think you have, like... I think you just need to find that. Remember when I was talking about going internal with this safety, strength, and power? I think you have gone really internal with the grief, pile number one. But there's also like, the devil, right? I was going to say like there's something missing, and maybe you guys feel like there is something missing in your life. And if this person isn't in your life, or if you can't have them, right? That you can't have anything. And, you know, a lot of those patterns come from childhood, right? From feeling like abandoned or alone, or feeling like we weren't ever like really loved or seen for who we are. And we just want someone to love us and to see us. I know how it is, pile number one. I feel for you on that. How can pile number one, no more falling into a black hole for pile number one? We have, oh, look at that. Look at that. We have the 5 of Cups, and then we have the 3 of Wands. That was a quick fucking turnaround right there, pile number one. And I love that the 3 of Wands, the gentleman or woman in the 3 of Wands is actually turned around. You know what I mean? And is facing a new day, right? And isn't daunted by it. The 3 of Wands is a Sun in Aries card, okay? And yeah, so it's the Lord of established strength, right? And we have strength and power right here. So letting go of the 5 of Cups and the misery and the pain and the heartache. And it's like, it's a new day. I'm going to face a new day here. And I feel better without all this heaviness weighing on me, okay? Let's check out what else here. What else here? No more falling into a black hole. Chariot. Yep. Keep it pushing, pile number one. Getting that, right? I feel like determination is what I'm seeing here. And if you do run into an obstacle, you're like, okay, all right. So I ran into an obstacle when I was trying to leave or trying to go, fine. Like, what are my other options here? And I feel you guys are very determined, okay? Determination is something I feel you guys should meditate on too, if you can do that. And because the Charioteer, it's like, I feel like he's saying to me, I don't have any place to go and I don't know what direction to go. But I also feel like that's the part where we have to have faith, right? Faith came up earlier. And it's like, I don't know where to go and I don't know what direction to go, but I feel there's a spirit of determination that rises up in you. Pile number 1, that propels you forward. What else here? No more falling into a black hole, okay? We have the 8 of Wands and the 9 of Cups. Yeah, like what you're propelling yourself into is ultimately for you. It's for your happiness, okay? And ain't no valley high enough, ain't no mountain tall enough to keep me away from you, babe, all right? I feel like you guys could meet someone else with this new romantic cycle. You never know what's waiting at the end of your journey. You never know what new things you could run into, right? Well, just, it's like, also, sometimes I feel like we love our misery. And if we're miserable, that means we don't have to like conquer a new fear. We don't have to put ourselves out there. We don't have to, because it's like, well, I'm miserable, I don't want to, right? And I mean, sometimes we legitimately can't. But what I'm getting for you guys is it's time to get your motor running and head out on the highway and looking for adventure, okay? And I think good things, the 9 of Cups, are going to come your way. And Spirit, can you tell me more of what is in store here for pile number 1? What's in store here for pile number 1? What's in store? I mean, having a direction, right? If you were feeling directionless or that you couldn't move anywhere, I definitely feel like you have a direction now and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel here with the 9 of Cups. And, or just have faith that good things can come, right? A lot of times we don't know what it is. We have no idea what the good thing is or when it's coming or how it's coming. But we just have faith that it is. You know what I mean? Pile number 1. Therefore, we don't linger forever in a bottomless pit. Let's see. What good things are coming for pile number 1, please? Or what good things here for pile? Oh, the Devil. Oh, my God. No wonder pile number 1. I mean, the Devil is also about power and sacrifice. You know what I mean? If you give this up and you let this go, you will be free, pile number 1, okay? And there may be circumstances that feel limiting to you right now. And again, it's really, really hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, all right? But the Fool is on the bottom of the deck. It feels like, here's what I'm getting. It feels like it's going nowhere. It feels like it's not getting anywhere, you know? And it's discouraging, pile number 1. And I feel like you guys have had to deal with your fair share of discouragement, all right? But your ability to start brand new and to be like a new, you know, there it is. There you are. There's the Queen of Wands and the 2 of Cups. Yeah. That's what you want. That's what you want. If you put down whatever, for those of you who are in a negative relationship situation, I feel like you guys, this is you guys saying like, it's never going to change. Always going to fucking be like this, right? And I know how that is. I do, pile number 1. But on the bottom of the deck is the Fool, all right? And I think you're going to surprise people big time. I think you're going to surprise yourself too. I think you're going to be a lot less caring about the direction and with more spirit for the journey. You know what I mean? The Fool is the element of air and correlates to spirit and Keter on the tree of life, you know? And we have to have a heart. We have to have the heart of a traveler. You know what I mean? Pile number 1. In our lifetimes, we can't get stuck on one thing because limits our ability to move in the world. You know what I mean? If we feel like we can't move in the world, then everything becomes the same and every day is the same and it's very benign, okay? But I see you guys I see you guys just throwing caution to the wind and traveling light here. And I feel like you guys are going to meet someone as well who is very flamboyant, fun, outgoing. They inspire you into your Queen of Wands energy. They put a smile back on your face, pile number one. For those of you that are looking for like a new friend or a new person, I do feel like you guys are going to meet someone very different than you've been with in the past. And I think it is going to inspire you to new heights, okay? And I also feel like it's awakening within you, right? The Fool is awakening within you. And it's a beautiful thing, the Two of Cups, finally feeling like my passion matches your passion. And how interesting, right? Looking at someone and being interested instead of like, this is the same fucking thing every day with the Devil, all right? And let's get one more here for pile number one, right? If you let that go, you get access to more of your power and you're gonna have a new adventure, I feel like, pile number one, okay? And the Queen of Wands is very creative too with this co-create energy. Co-create with the chaos of life, pile number one. That's the Queen of Wands and the Fool. Co-create with the chaos of life, all right? And when you do that, it inadvertently leads you to soulmate, a twin flame, whatever it is that you believe, right? Inadvertently, by co-creating with the chaos of life, instead of staying stuck and not letting go, you inadvertently create situations where you meet people that are like you on your path, okay? And yeah, it's time to get a move on. Pile number one. Look, there's Temperance on the bottom of the deck. Don't play it too safe now. It's not gotten you anywhere with the moon, right? And it's time to put an end to that because Seven of Pentacles isn't going anywhere. And I think you can sail out of this situation very gracefully if you want to. And look what you get after that, the Ace of Cups, okay? So thank you so much, my beautiful pile number ones. I hope that that message resonated for you. And I hope it, you know, boosted your confidence, right? Because you're a phoenix. I need you to act like one, pile number one, okay? I need you to flower into the beautiful soul you're meant to be. And you're a beautiful soul already. It's just gonna get even more beautiful, which is amazing, all right? So let's go ahead and get into pile number two. Let's get into pile number two. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the Labradorite, and the reading is called No More Falling into a Black Hole. And we're gonna look at, you know, where you've been experiencing despair, where you've been wasting your time, just where you seem to get derailed. And we are going to talk about how to no longer fall into that black hole, okay? Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of pile number two who come here today, humbly seeking your assistance. Thank you so much, spirits, and yeah, angels, all right? I got this new vampire deck, and you guys are the first people that I'm reading with this vampire deck. I absolutely love it. It's called the Tarot of the Vampires. I like it. But anyway, pile number two, let's look at no more falling into, okay, silence right away. Third eye, trip out, silence, all right? And this is the sound of silence, pile number two. We have aloneness, wow. Wow. Oh, pile number two. We have here sorrow, oh my God, yeah. I think you guys are very spiritual, pile number two. And I feel like you've learned to be comfortable with the silence that's around you. to go outside at night and look up at the beautiful stars, to look at the mountains, to look at the water, and to meditate and to enjoy like this sound of just like your beating heart or your breath, pile number 2. But I feel like this was almost like beat into you in a way, because I feel like you have felt very alone. And with this aloneness, this is the Hermit, right? And you guys could have felt like you had no other choice, right? I mean, what else is around him? There's nothing else around him. He is by himself. He or she is by himself. And with sorrow here, it's just this energy of like, why does this always happen to me? Or why am I always left? You know, why am I always left? Like, what's wrong with me that people don't care enough to like, to be closer to me, or to want to, you know, to want to like, see if you're okay, or check in on you, or just feeling deeply sad, pile number 2. And I get it, you know, like there's two sides to the coin, right? Being alone can also make you very aware of yourself spiritually and clear your third eye and keep you really focused, like on your high priestess type of energy. All right. But it also can feel like a very lonely journey and can feel very tiring. You know what I mean? And some of you could have had past lives where you remember like being a monk or having like a religious life. And I think you're very good at it, but I also feel like you need human contact. I feel like pile number 2, or you need like, I mean, maybe not as much as other people, but I feel like you do need it. And it can be scary too, like when we're totally alone and something happens that we worry about. Like, I know sometimes, like, I think about, like, I live alone. I don't, you know, I'm not married. I don't have children. I live alone. And I think about, like, someday when I get old, like, what happens if I fall? You know, like, who could I call? Or, you know, would I just lay there for days and days, right? I feel like some of these thoughts here with the 9 of Swords can be, like, very haunting. And when you contemplate, like, how alone you are, like, if you think about it, it's very scary, right? Like, even when there's like a major snowstorm and everybody goes to the grocery stores and all the food is gone. And, you know, what if it was a worse situation? Like, who's going to defend you, or who's going to be there for you, right? And I think that can be like the thoughts about that can be really, really heartbreaking. And I mean, I think you guys you've really found a way to turn this silence around you into your advantage, and to clear your head and to connect with spirit, okay? But it's hard. I know, pile number 2. We have Mercury and messages. Yeah. You are receiving a lot of messages from spirit, but I also feel like your head, like sometimes when you're alone, you feel like you get the weirdest, when people spend too much time alone and like they're not having people to talk to, or even online, right? Like spending all your time online when they don't get to have like real world interactions with people can get kind of weird and also get really in their head, or very anxious, or start having weird thoughts. You know what I mean? Pile number 2, the kind that like keep you up at night. And if you have these thoughts that are like constantly running through your head, or you feel like you're fighting your own self in your head, like, I want to be alone and I accept being alone, or I want to be on this journey of spiritual enlightenment and discovery, but at the same time, right, I don't want to be totally alone. And I feel like I feel like there's some mental healing on the mental level, pile number 2. Ask your guides and angels to help you on that. I mean, also sometimes just like talk therapy, obviously, like psychologists and stuff like that. But sometimes like the stories we're telling ourselves in our heads, I mean, I realized at one point that I was telling myself that all my friends hated me, like secretly they hated me, which I found out is a trauma response. Like people who've experienced a lot of trauma will just randomly start thinking that everyone hates them. You know what I mean? And it's not actually true. We're just like fighting ourselves in our head. You know what I'm saying, pile number 2? And it can really put a person in a black hole. It's like, hello, is there anybody out there, right? And that can be kind of scary, pile number 2. We have here rejection. Yeah, feeling like rejected by others, feeling like you're alone. If you've experienced a lot of rejection from like lovers or family or friends, yeah, rejection can really make us feel like worthless. You know what I mean too? Like rejection has a way of tearing away at our self-esteem too. We have energy. Okay. I feel like you guys have a lot of energy to, like on the other hand, you guys have a lot of energy to leap into unknown areas where other people fear to tread. You know what I mean? And that creates a lot of dynamic energy around you as well, pile number 2. And I feel like sometimes with these 2 Mercury snakes, like looking at each other and hissing, I feel like sometimes you have energy and then other times you feel down on yourself or you feel rejected. Maybe even rejected by society at times, pile number 2, or the people in your community. We have Lady Venus. Wow, messages and downloads. All right, you guys are actually connecting. You may feel like you're not connecting to energy, to source, to spirit. You may be forcing yourself to be alone a little bit more so you can get the downloads, but I think it's been a double-edged sword for you, pile number 2, because it's like in your head, it's gotten a little bit tense, not just a little bit, but a lot. We have Lady Venus here, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. Yeah, wow. Truth is being revealed. Sometimes like the truth that we're alone. Sometimes the truth is very challenging to deal with. And Lady Venus here in your guys' reading. We have yellow, joy, and happiness. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of blues and grays here. And I feel like you guys do need yellow. Like you do need yellow around you. You may need to be in a place, like live in a place where there's more sunshine as well. Or it doesn't get dark at night, like super early. Because I feel like you need this energy of joy and happiness in your life. We have here the thinker. Yeah, you guys think a lot, you know, with the Hermit and the 9 of Swords. You guys reflect on a lot and you think on a lot. And you have an amazing mind, pile number 2. And for those of you that are spiritualists, you do get amazing, crazy downloads from spirit. And I think this is the star card in this deck, actually, this silence card. And you could use that information to be creative or for your intuition, etc. You guys are thinkers for sure. We have the thinker, the father of knowledge, instruction, and reinvention. Okay, and look at his head. There's like a blue light. Look at the download. Look at the blue flame going right through his head right there. Okay. And what has he got his arm around? I feel like, is there someone in your life that is clinging on to you, pile number 2? Or are you clinging on to someone else here? That looked like a hand around his waist for a second there, but I think it's a scroll. Interesting. For those of you that are creatives or you're writers or you do some type of work like that, if you've experienced a lot of rejection around your work and wondering like if this ever is going to change, or even just in general, I feel like it is going to change, okay? And you guys are thinkers. You're very profound thinkers. And not everyone is a profound thinker, pile number 2. And that's where you could have experienced some rejection around someone, okay? Or around what you wanted to do, because not everybody thinks as deep as you do. We have the frog here. Yeah, I think this makes you feel like physically and emotionally not well, okay? And it may like really fuck with your energy levels too, because I'm seeing like the vision of someone like yawning. Do you guys feel like you're tired a lot? Are the thoughts in your head like kind of too much at times? Do we need to have better thoughts and better understanding about our thoughts and what we are thinking about here? Because I know I can do this too, pile number 2. I'm a thinker too, and it's to my advantage, but it's also to my disadvantage. You know what I mean? Because I overthink everything and I make things up that aren't there, and I start getting paranoid and shit. You know what I'm saying? Pile number 2 is just not a good look. And sometimes we have to be reminded of the quality of our thoughts and if they're really like bringing us joy, peace, and happiness, okay? We have here, I feel like you guys if you do spend time with people, you may take on a lot of the energy, because I feel like you guys are very empathic and you may feel like people dump on you sometimes, okay? I'm seeing the initial B and M here. I'm also seeing like a crescent moon and the number 2, okay? But I feel like people can dump on you at times, and I feel like you're aware that they're doing that and you absorb it anyway, I feel like, but you may need time alone. But how much time alone is what I'm saying, pile number 2, right? And I do think you need to be around people that are joyful and happy. I know you guys are thinkers and you like being around people that are very sharp. But I also think like you need some things you do for fun and just for joy and happiness, okay? We have here, oh, there you are. I already called you guys a high priest earlier when I looked at that star card. Here you are again, and here you are with right on your third eye, right on your brow chakra. Here you are. We have high priestess and high priest, okay? That's you, pile number 2. And we have responsibility here. And I think you guys think a lot about, for those of you that, like, what's my responsibility, right? What's my responsibility for the downloads I'm getting and for the information that I'm getting? And what are the ethics behind everything that's going on here, okay? I feel like one side of her face is dark and one side of her face is light, right? Which is true. That's life. It's light and dark. You know, life is light and dark, and we can't escape the dark, right? There's always going to be darkness in other people as well and in yourself, but I don't think it's your responsibility to absorb that. And kind of like, how do you get your energy back? Some of you may feel like you need to like be alone after being around a lot of people so you can get your energy back, okay? Which may be true, but I feel like sometimes it goes a little too far. Pile number 2, we have confidence here. Yeah, I think you guys also need to be confident about like whatever you're working on or whatever you want to do right now, because I feel like you are very ethical. I feel like you are very responsible. You're very ethical. You're a thinker. You know what you're doing. All right. And you don't need to measure your worth by anyone else. Rejection energy. Okay. Spirit is saying have confidence. All right. And I like it because she's with the sun here, and her wings are spread in front of the sun. And I like that a lot better than this Hermit and 9 of Swords. Not that the Hermit is bad. It's very wise. It's, you know, sometimes we do have to wander off on our own to figure out, you know, our head from our butt. But too much can not be good. But I feel like you guys are standing in the light, all right? And Venus can also help us with issues of self-worth, of body image, of the way that people perceive us, okay? And help us get over those issues too. We have the diamond star. Wow, the star again. Here you guys are with this. Look at her third eye again. And there's an owl on top of her crown chakra. Wow, you guys are intuitive. You are very, very intuitive, pile number 2. Very sensitive as well. And you may think that people are rejecting you. But I mean, they also come around you when they, if they want to like dump on your energy, which is, when they're emotional and need help, then they're around you, right? The confidence to pull yourself out of all that energy. It says here, I focus on service and I follow my higher purpose with joy and happiness. And I bring through the messages, right? Whether light or dark, whatever needs to come through, we roll with the energy of truth around here, don't we, pile number 2? But you're very intuitive, and I feel like you see through people very easily. Some people might even be a little bit afraid of you at times, and you may have felt like they rejected you because you are a deep thinker. You are a priest or a priestess. You're very, underneath this hermit energy and 9 of Swords is the heart of a confident, like protege of Venus. I feel like a confident son or daughter of Venus is underneath all of that, pile number 2, and waiting to be discovered. Your destiny is here. I focus on service and I follow my higher purpose with joy and happiness. All right. And I don't resist the messages that I'm getting, right? And I don't think I'm crazy. Some people, like, you're getting a lot of downloads of messages and you're like, am I crazy, right? Is it because I'm alone at times, right? I feel like it's not. I feel like what you do with it, though, from a creative perspective or from a work perspective is really, or from a service standpoint, is where you really, bring it into form, okay? And what's interesting about Mercury is also the planet of, speaking and writing and all of that intelligence as well. You guys are very intelligent and intuitive, like a triple threat, pile number 2. But my astrology teacher always says that, astrologers represent the energy of Mercury, and that astrologers need to be able to hold the energy of contradiction. And I feel like that's, what you guys are working on here. And you may have a prominent Mercury in your chart. You may look at where Mercury is in your chart as well. And if you have, like, for me, I have Mercury in Gemini in the 8th house. So I'm always getting messages, and sometimes it drives me crazy. And oftentimes too, like, my head is just full of shit sometimes. And it's like, okay, like, this is too much. Like, starting to think that all my friends hate me or whatever, pile number 2. Do you know how it is? Oh, wow, there's Gemini right there, a full moon in Gemini talking about Mercury. The answers you need are coming. I feel like you guys have also been, like, worried about something. You could have been rejected for something you were wanting to do, and you've just been thinking about it obsessively, okay? And yeah, I feel like it's brought you, like this poor frog here, it's kind of like brought your vibe down. Or I feel like you guys have definitely been worried here, or you've been like, I need to know an answer about this, or I need to know the truth, or I need to know what happened here, okay? And the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini, okay? Downloads, messages, the answers. I feel like you guys are going to get that, pile number 2. If you're waiting on some information, yeah, I feel like it's coming. And sometimes I don't even know if people told you, like, oh, are you crazy, or this or thing or that thing, whatever, pile number 2, like when you were younger, or even now. You're not crazy, pile number 2. I feel like, you're just highly intelligent and intuitive, all right? And sometimes people that have minds like that can drive their own selves crazy. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean you're crazy, pile number 2, because you're not, all right? Let's go ahead and see. No more falling into a black hole here for pile number 2, Spirit. How do we bring pile number 2 out of the black hole? 9 of Pentacles. Okay, focus on service, focus on mission. This is Virgo energy, and I also feel like whatever it is that you're doing, you need to offer it up to people, or you need to be seen for that too. And yeah, I think what you do comes naturally to you. Don't be afraid to take what's yours either here, pile number 2. Let's see what else. 9 of Pentacles. How does pile keep going anyway? Even if you had a rejection and it hurt about something, keep going anyway, okay? And let's get another one for pile number 2 here. The Fool. Yeah, don't be afraid to change course either, and abruptly if needed. I feel like some of you have some really interesting, like, wild ideas that are going to hit you like a hurricane, pile number 2, but in a good way, not in a, like, my brain's going out of control kind of a way. I feel like you're always going to be, like, inventive and open to messages and downloads and accepting of that. But I also, the Fool here is also to me about freedom. Freedom to be yourself, right? Freedom to soar high, freedom to be yourself, okay? What else here? No more falling into a black hole here for pile number 2. The Magician, yeah, there you are. There you are, my darlings, okay? You let go of what other people think about you. You just do what you do best anyway, 9 of Pentacles. You embrace, like, every new thing coming your way, and you're not afraid. And the Magician, you guys are talented, okay? Pile number 2, the world may not have always been ready for what you need, what you're bringing, but they need it badly, right? The world needs creative and, you know, genius type thinkers. The world needs that energy. Let me tell you, pile number 2, they need it bad. And you guys are magicians as well. You're very powerful, and you're very strong in the moment, okay? And to me, this is like air. When I see Fool and the Magician, again, it's a Mercury card again. I'm thinking air, right? And care less, do more. Care less about what other people think about what you're doing, and do more of it, okay? 9 of Pentacles, do more of it. More. We need more, pile number 2, okay? And it's evident that when you're doing what you love, like, you're fully in it, and you're good at it as well, pile number 2. Like, you are good, okay? So I need you to believe that about yourself. One more here for pile number 2. One more. The Devil. Wow. It's one more. We're going to end on that, right? It's tempting to... I mentioned earlier about someone clinging on to someone. Is there someone in your life who acts like they know more than you, and, you know, makes you feel like they know more than you, or that you need to cling to them, or that you don't know what to do without them? Is there someone in your life like that, pile number 2? I feel like you don't need to look at this red, look at this, you know, fire burning in the background. I feel like it's the fire that the Magician was making, or the alchemy that the Magician was making. Don't put what you want on the back burner for anyone else, okay? And you don't need to hang on to anyone here. I feel like what you've done is amazing, and you don't need anybody's validation. You don't need anybody's approval, all right, with the Fool and the Magician. You don't need that. And if someone's trying to tell you that they need to be the middleman between you and what you're doing. That is false, okay? And that's happened to me before, like with a friend. I saw her doing this, but anyway, like there's 1,000 different ways to reach a goal, right? We can be really inventive and original and bring our work to the forefront, or we can cling on to something else for a sense of safety and look for approval from this person or people, okay? I don't think you need it right now. And the devil energy can also be about rejection, like where we don't feel good about ourselves anymore. And where we've been hiding a little bit too much. The devil, it's easy to hide behind something. You know what I mean, pile number 2? It's easy to fall into that black hole of hiding behind someone or something. That way we don't have to show like what we did. You know what I mean? But I feel like what you've done is amazing. And you don't need anyone blocking you from what you want to do, okay? I'll get you one more for pile number 2. One more for pile number 2, Spirit. One more for pile number 2. One more for pile number 2. If somebody rejected you, but then said yes to someone's idea who was pretty much the same as yours, but failed to give you credit for what you did, then I feel like there is going to be justice for this, okay? For pile number 2, please. For pile number 2, please. We have, yeah, there's the justice, Ace of Swords. There's Archangel Michael coming up in your reading. There's the Sword of Truth. There is justice, okay, after all, pile number 2. And you're the one with the bright ideas. You're the one with the bright mind, okay? You're the one that turns it off and turns it on whenever you want to. You don't need to have, I feel like this devil energy is making you feel like you need to have like safety, you know, guardrails set up, and that you need to be dependent on something. Pile number 2, I think it just it's not like your black hole is not the same as like pile number 1's black hole. I feel like for you guys, there's a temptation there to not show what you're doing or show yourself. But ultimately what you are doing is very brilliant and unique and different and cool. And, or you have the capacity to do something very unique, different, and cool. And the Ace of Swords comes to like, you know, get rid of that devil and let you actually reach what you're trying to reach, okay? I feel like your guys' black hole, you can overcome it very easily, pile number 2. I feel like you really, really can, with confidence. I feel like that's the one thing here. The confidence, all right? Pile number 2, I like your reading, my darlings. I hope you did too. And if you enjoyed the reading, please leave me a comment, like, share, subscribe. And yeah, I love reading your guys' comments. Like, it really motivates me for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like there's a genuine interaction there. So thank you so much and take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Do it to it. Clear the energy. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the Fluorite, and today's reading is called No More Falling into a Black Hole. And we're going to look at where despair, like waiting and wasting time, and just whatever your black hole is, like falling into that, where that can be a little bit too much for you, and where you need to like avoid that black hole and kick that black hole in the face, okay? And I don't mean it like as in it's too much for you, just like indulging in it is too much, you know what I mean? And yeah, no more falling into a black hole, pile number 3. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of my beautiful pile number 3s who come here today seeking your wonderful guidance, please. And thank you. Let us do it. Pile number 3. We have, oh, nice. We have slowing down. Slowing down. Okay, I like that energy. No need to hurry, right? If we're always on, quote unquote, always on, that can feel very overwhelming. We have ordinariness. Ordinariness. Wow, you guys thinking that you're just ordinary or you're like everyone else, or like that you're not special. Pile number 3, you are special, okay? Maybe you do need some ordinariness in your life though, and you do need to slow it down and take it a little bit more easy, all right? And you're not ordinary for like wanting a peaceful or a calm life. Wow, we have the Magician existence. Okay, yeah. To me, this is like, if you feel like something isn't going anywhere or what you're doing is just ordinary and you feel like, you know, discouraged. The energy that I'm getting for you guys is sometimes that sense of discouragement or that sense that life has lost its magic, you know? And like, what is this all for anyway? Why do we even exist, right? That can be a huge black hole to kind of wallow in, you know what I mean? But the Magician energy says that, you know, you're very special and no one can do it like you, okay? And that you are a unique gift to the universe, all right, pile number 3. And while all of us have to slow down at times and, you know, live more ordinary lives because we, you know, we need to take care of ourselves, etc., Spirit doesn't want you to be discouraged, okay, pile number 3, and falling into that sense of discouragement, like, oh, this is taking too long, I can't handle this, I'm not good enough for this, I'm like just an ordinary person, right? Spirit coming through and telling you like you exist for a reason and you are a magician, okay, pile number 3. We have here dignified. Yeah, you're a very dignified person. And I feel like it's card number 13. So I kind of feel like you guys knew who you were, or you knew more about yourself. I feel like earlier on in life, which sometimes makes maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to slow down in the future, right? But Spirit's saying, don't be discouraged. You are very dignified. You have strength here, all right? When a planet is dignified in an astrology chart, it just means that it has the ability to, carry out its natal promise. It has the ability to do what it is supposed to do in your chart, okay? Like you have the ability to do what you're supposed to do, even if at times it seems like, ho hum. 8 of Pentacles, this isn't really going anywhere. Everything's slowing down, right? Spirit is saying, no, like the fact that you exist is even magic. And it's talking to you, telling you like you're a very dignified, special person. There's strength again, all right? And, you know, strength through discouragement, right? If we have a tendency to get discouraged or feel like our efforts aren't they don't matter, right? I'm just a normal like mom, or I'm just a normal kid, or I'm just a normal, like I don't have anything special about me, right? That isn't true, pile number 3. I feel like you are very strong as well, and unique too. Let's see what else we have. We have hunger. Okay. I think you guys have you hunger for, I think you know how to hold it down in day-to-day life and you are very strong, but I do think you hunger for something like more epic, you know, I think you do. And sometimes like the day-to-day, while you are very good at it and you know how to keep up a routine and you know how to work hard, pile number 3, I also feel like you hunger, like your soul hungers for more, you know what I mean? For like doing something different or being something different, all right? And I'm also getting like, if somebody here has a problem with food or has had an eating disorder before, I'm getting that too. Yeah, I just got that, you know, it's not going to apply to everyone, but I am getting something about that, all right? And I haven't had, I mean, I think all of us do on some level, like in this society, right? Like we're all like watching what we eat and being weird about our calories or whatever. But I feel like some of you could have dealt with that, or you maybe deal with that. But I feel like you just have this hunger for life, you know, to live life on a much grander scale, to live a more like impassioned life, to do what you really want to do, right? Sometimes we have to have a job just to like pay the bills, and it makes us feel kind of ordinary. And yes, we're good at it, and we're very strong, and we're dignified and all of that. But there's just something more, you know, and it can get to be a black hole. Like every day, like, oh, my alarm going off, brush my teeth. Like, what else is there in life? You know what I mean? And I feel like you guys do have a hunger for something more. And it's like, I feel like with the magician, it's hard to put your finger on. It's like, what is it? What is it? What is it? You know, you could keep, in your mind, I feel like you're saying, I could keep on being ordinary because I'm good at, like, I have strength and I'm dignified. I can do that. But what I really want is something more. What I really want is like to live the life of my dreams. Okay, pile number 3, we have here Mother Mary. I knew she was going to come up. Love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. All right, for those of you that have had a mother, you know, issue with your mother or even your father, telling you that like you were ordinary or there was nothing special about you, or worse off, the, you know, things, negative things to you about your body or the way that you look. Pile number 3, I just want to send you a lot of love there, and to that space within. And I don't feel like you guys are clinging to a need to be right. I think, you know, choosing peace, I feel like, you know, ordinary day to day, etc., that's great, and peace is great too, but I feel like you guys have a hunger for more. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because sometimes people live like this very chaotic life and they just want to have a normal life. Like if you ask a drug addict, you know, they just want to get sober and have a normal life, right? But if you've been just, you know, sacrificing for your family, or you've been working a job that you really, your soul doesn't feel the call to, right? Those people just hunger for something more, right? It's like, and I guess finding peace with what we hunger for is something that could be a black hole, you know, like we're not happy with this, we're not happy with that, now we're not happy with, you know what I mean? So I guess there can be peace there in like, but peace is also can be seductive, because I feel like sometimes it's like, well, I'm not going to do that because it's like, I know how to do this and I'm good at it and I know what I'm doing here, right? I mean, I love peace, but I'm kind of at a place where in my life where I have the ability to love peace because I'm doing what I should be doing, and, you know, I'm living a good life and I get my independence and all of that. But if we don't feel that on a day-to-day, then it can feel like we don't have peace, you know? We have here beacon and shine on. Look at how special you are, you know, and people telling you, I mean, also you guys are very, very strong and you're very good at what you do, and you're emotionally strong. I feel like you guys could be pillars in your family. Like people rely on you a lot. People think highly of you, dignified. People can see your strength, I feel like. And Spirit is saying, you know, we all shine on, beacon. And you may think that like what you're doing doesn't make a difference, but it does. Pile number 3, you are a beacon for others, all right? And they want to follow your lead, right? Because you're good at what you do and you're very strong at it as well. We have here the exile, forsaken soldier, strategy, failure, and trauma. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing that we hunger for, that we feel like if we do it, people will look at us like a failure, or they will exile us. You know what I mean? And some of you could have dealt with a lot of trauma as well. And especially to your solar plexus here. And your root chakra, I feel like, is very, very strong. Pile number 3. I was getting a weaker root chakra in pile number 1. I feel like your guys' root chakra is very strong. I feel like where you may experience some deficiencies at times is with your solar plexus and that hunger, you know, of like your personal power and your personal will to do what you want, right? And feeling like if you don't do what you're supposed to do, like people will look at you like a failure. Or if you go after what you want and what you really hunger for, you could fail at it, right? And trauma kind of like, you know, shapes those beliefs as well. Let me see what else I can get from him. I mean, I feel like without you, like people's lives wouldn't, I feel like you're very needed, pile number 3. Like you are very needed at whatever you do or in your family or your work or whatever. You are very needed. But I also just feel like sometimes you're like, I'm in a wasteland. Like I'm in a wasteland and people would just forget about me because they just take advantage for what I do day to day, right? And I feel like you guys hunger for more than that, all right? We have the elk. Wow, earth energy, very strong root chakra. You guys, people rely on you. They depend on you. The elk in this deck to me reminds me of the emperor, okay? Very like determined energy. And yeah, I feel like you guys are respected and dignified. And if at times you don't feel that way, you feel like with this exile that people look at you as a failure or whatever, or look at you weird because of your trauma or the things that you've been through, I feel like you are very dignified. Like if you could only see the way that people look at you, right? Like you are very powerful and dignified. I feel like pile number 3, okay? And people do recognize your strength and your power. And some of you here who are watching this who are mothers or you care for people in your family, etc., you are very, very loved and needed. I feel like, you know, maybe sometimes you feel like I can't keep up with this slowing down. I need to, you know, or I can't always be that for everybody else. You know what I mean? It gets heavy. You know, there may be times we feel unappreciated type thing here. But or feel that people won't love you with the exile forsaken soldier, that people won't really love you or respect you if you're not being who you usually are. You know what I mean? Pile number 3. That can make us feel very trapped. You know, that energy, that's a black hole of feeling trapped in a life that while we're good at it, we're not feeling the passion. You know what I mean? We have spell and manifestation, okay? So yeah, manifestation. I feel like with manifestation, you guys are like this, tapping the microphone. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Can you tell what I want, Spirit, right? Is this thing on? And you may need to make it known to Spirit. Like it was always really hard for me to make it known. I mean, I'm a very fast manifester, but that isn't always a good thing. But a lot of times I had a hard time like telling Spirit what I really, really wanted, right? It's like, if I didn't have to do this, then what would I want, right? Magician. And I feel like because it's the Magician and it's at the beginning of the hero's journey, it's like anything could happen, but also anything and everything is there. So how do we kind of like zero in on that? Pile number 3. We have commitment here. And again, feeling like people, if you're not the one there, like holding things up for people or being there, that, you know, people are going to like not, like if you were to take a different path, that people may look at you as like not honoring your commitments, but I feel like you more than honor your commitments, pile number 3, okay? I think you guys can be hard on yourselves, and I think that's the black hole that you guys can fall into too, is being like way too hard on yourselves, all right? And we have the inner temple, life lessons. I go within my shadow for deep spiritual growth. Yeah. And the Magician here in this hunger to me is the shadow. And, you know, the green candles are reminding me of envy in a way, like green with envy, like being envious maybe of other people. Like, why do they get to lead that life and I don't, you know? And also I feel like some of you here are like, you have like a dark sorceress or sorcerer within you. And you have a lot of power, I feel like, but on the outside, you're like, oh, I'm just ordinary, or I'm just doing what I need to do or whatever. But I feel like internally, there's like a real bitch within you. And I mean that in a positive way, pile number 3. Like there's a, you know, like I'm going to fucking stab your eyes out if you look at me that way. There's a real bitch within you. And I think you hunger for that bitch at times, or that asshole at times, if you're a guy watching this. And I think your inner bitch and your inner asshole needs to be fed, you know, the skulls of your enemies. Pile number 3. I do think that there's a demoness or a villain that lives within you that needs to break free sometimes, okay? And even if you do have responsibilities and things that you need to do, you need time to bring out this side of you, right? Whether it's taking pictures, like, you know, with your eyes, looking at the camera, like I'll devour you, whether it's looking, you know, listening to like really angry music at times, or just really, you know, vile things that other people wouldn't like. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a vile person within you that likes things that other people wouldn't like and doesn't want to be judged for any of it. And I like it. Pile number 3, I like your shadow. You know, I always encourage, like I have friends of mine who are like very sweet, they're very caring, they're very nice, but I'm always telling them to be more of a bitch. You know what I mean? I like the inner bitch. I like the inner temple of the bitch, the inner temple. I like it, right? Permission to be like slutty, permission to be, you know, roll your eyes at people, permission to like play music that others find offensive, permission to judge others, right? I like it. I want to see more of it from you, pile number 3. And that may just free up some of that magician energy that you hunger for, so you really know what you want to manifest, and then you can bring it in, okay? But I think your inner shadow has the key here. And I feel like some of you have exiled your inner shadow because you felt you needed to be committed. You know what I mean? Like you need commitment, and that makes you a worthwhile person. But, you know, you got to let your freak flag fly as well, pile number 3. Have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. Ooh, I like a waxing crescent moon because it's building up. You know what I mean? I feel like your faith and your dreams are building up right now. And I feel like you guys are like growing towards the moon. You know what I mean? And the moon is very mysterious and bitchy. Pile number 3, you know? I mean, we got to reclaim that word and be like, being a bitch is a good thing, right? Pile number 3. But Spirit is saying, have faith in your dreams. And look at this magician here. She's looking out and she's like, what do I want? And what would be like a magical experience for me, because I'm hungry for that and I want to manifest that in my life. And Spirit is saying, have faith in your dreams, all right? And work with your shadow, pile number 3. I feel for you guys, getting out of the black hole is working with your shadow. Everybody, you know, everybody talks about shadow work, but nobody really wants to do it. You know what I'm saying, pile number 3? Everybody puts on a big old show about shadow work, but a lot of people don't even have a clue what it is, all right? And yeah, I feel like if somebody told you to have faith in your dreams, you might roll your eyes, your inner bitch would roll your eyes at them and be like, fuck you, you know what I mean? Like, I have to do all this shit every day and you want me to have faith in my dreams? See, I'm already channeling your inner bitch, pile number 3, and it needs room to breathe, all right? How does pile number 3 get out of the black hole? Oh, we have 9 of Swords pop out there. If I do this, what, you know, if I do this, then what, right? And with the 9 of Swords, it's always like worse than it actually is in reality. And I mean, not always, but in this case, I kind of feel like that, okay? And I also feel like this he's dealing with his fears and he's looking at his shadow. Like this shadow is this big dragon lizard creature with its tongue out being like, you know, and crawling all over everything, making everyone nervous, you know. I feel like you guys have been kind of blocking this out. You've been, you know it's there, but you've been blocking it out. And I think it's creating like tension and anxiety, all right? And tension and anxiety can be a black hole, right? Oh, look at you guys. Look at you stabbing this person. I feel like there's certain things that you guys want to say to people too, but you've been holding them back, you know. But I feel like here with this Knight of Swords, like, sometimes you're going to have to, you know, I don't know, pile number 3. I was going to say sometimes you have to skin a cat, but that is, you know, it's not something that you want to do. But do you know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to. They always say like there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, but I don't even know what skinning a cat is, pile number 3. I'm just saying it. I feel like there's some things that you just need to say that other people might find offensive. And you just need to say them anyway. And if they don't like it, then they don't fucking like it. Because I feel like 90% of the time you do what is required of you, right? So where can you like really let it rip, you know? Where can you really, and I feel like you guys would really take some people off guard too if you did that, which people need to be taken off guard at times. You know what I mean? There you are, strength. You have all the strength, and strength came up multiple times in this reading. And yeah, and look at it. She's hugging her inner lion. She's like, you come here. Like she's hugging her shadow, and she's like, you come here. I know that I mean, cats are bitches, right? You come here to me. You be mine, okay? You be my bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, pile number 3. But I feel like, you know, you guys are very, very strong, but there is this feeling of, you know, acting out or making friends with your shadow. You're not gonna fucking kill people by saying what you want to say, pile number 3. You know, you won't. It'll be fine, okay? And actually, at the end of the day, people might appreciate you even more for like your honesty, all right? Honesty is a hard quality to find in people these days, all right? Frankness, candidness, and honesty. And I feel like you guys do have that within you. But there's a little bitchy hint to it. And I want to say I like it a lot, all right? This reading has me thinking about some of the Libra people in my life who have a lot of Libra in their charts. Anyway, we have here the devil. Oh my God, the devil has come up in every single one of these readings. So obviously the devil is a black hole. You know what I mean? But I also feel like, I mean, in many tarot classes growing up, when I took tarot classes from different teachers, I would always try to argue that the devil card really wasn't that bad. And they'd all look at me and roll their eyes. And I'd be like, well, it's not that bad. Like, come on. You know what I mean? The thing I like about the devil in this deck is that there's 2 people at the feet of at his feet who are like, you know, fucking, which I enjoy. I'm sure you enjoy, pile number 3 as well. And I feel like there's an inner freak within you too that needs to get your needs met, like for like hungry, like devouring type of sexual activity. I feel like it's within your bones, but we're taught to be like good boys or good girls, right? Instead of being naughty. I feel like you guys need to be naughty, all right? And there could be things that you were afraid of doing or saying because you thought that, you know, you would really hurt people or you would, and I feel like you're a very compassionate person, pile number 3, but I also feel like there's a part of, you need to get it out. You need to get stuff out. You know, you're a sexual human being and you need to experience, you know, the earthly delights. All right. Pile number 3. The devil is the Lord of the gates of matter, child of the forces of time. Okay. And The gates of matter are where we get down and dirty. You know what I mean? The earth plane. And waking up that fire within you. Everyone might not like what they see. And you might see your shadow being illuminated, pile number 3. And you may be like, you know, with the strength card, like a grown up, like you had to be a good boy or a good girl, like growing up. And you may be a little bit afraid of expressing yourself here with the 9 of Swords, but I think you need to come out with it. Knight of Swords and 9 of Swords, all right? And everyone's going to be okay at the end, right? But you may be a little bit afraid of your own power, pile number 3. And the devil can also be like where we're afraid of really being ourselves, or we were taught to have shame for just simply being ourselves, right? And I feel like the shadow work is really where it's at for you, pile number 3. And shadow work takes confidence, and it takes strength, and it just takes a lot of inner strength to go through shadow work. And yeah, and I feel like you guys have a ton of inner strength, pile number 3. It's, you know, just getting past the hurdles in your own mind, I feel. And I do feel like some of you need to act out and like do some wild things is what I'm getting for you. My beautiful pile number 3s, where the wild things grow. Much love to you, pile number 3, and much love to all the piles. I hope you all have a beautiful day. And if that reading resonated with you, pile number 3, please do leave me a comment. I love to receive all your comments. Take care, everybody.